Welcome to Political Empire, your daily source for inland politics news and analysis. I'm Jeff Horseman with the Press Enterprise MPE.com. Murrieta City Councilman Harry Ramos' comments about domestic violence have angered a number of people who consider what he said to be offensive. And joining us by phone to talk about Ramos' remarks is reporter Dave Downey. So, Dave, what did Councilman Ramos say that has people so upset?
Well, it took place at a recent council meeting that occurred on October 15th. It happened to be the same night that the council had issued a proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And to start off, Mr. Ramos decided to share some comments about it and personal thoughts about it. He started out by saying it was important for people to know how their state laws define domestic violence. The councilman then described an incident that he was personally involved in while living in North Carolina about 8 years ago. He said that he and his wife became embroiled in an intense argument, which ultimately led to both being placed under arrest. Because he grabbed a cell phone out of his wife's hands, and because she blocked his exit when he tried to leave their house. Mr. Ramos then went on to say that he often jokes with his wife that she looked absolutely stunning, quote unquote, in an orange jail jumpsuit. And he said the lesson he learned from the experience was that his wife is always right. Well, local activists have complained that the comments about his wife, how she looked, and about the lesson, just simply being that she was right, trivialized the seriousness of domestic violence. One of the council members, Councilwoman Kelly Bennett, was particularly upset about the comments being made in front of a council meeting audience that was packed with high school students. And she actually got up and left the dais for a short time to gather her thoughts, she later said.
Okay. So what's been Councilman Ramos' response to the criticism?
Well, in an interview with us, Mr. Ramos said that he was surprised by the reaction, and he termed it a shame that someone would take offense at the things that he said. Mr. Ramos said he was merely trying to share his own experience with the domestic violence matter, and as well to stress the need for marriage counseling and training and anger management.
I see, and I understand this isn't the first time, though, that Mr. Ramos has drawn a strong reaction to what he said.
It is not the first time, indeed. Shortly after being elected to the council in November of 2012, and 4 days after the December massacre at a school in Newtown, Connecticut, Mr. Ramos shares some details of a holiday shopping trip. This time again, something that he and his wife had done together. During the meeting, he said this: "I purchased his and her firearms for my wife and myself. Actually, I just wanted a new gun. But I figured the best way to coax my wife into allowing me to buy a gun during the Christmas season was to get her own firearm. So I bought her a Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum." And then he concluded by saying, "And I was mortified to hear that there are no shooting ranges within the city of Murrieta." Critics later suggested that the comments were poorly timed, again coming 4 days after the massacre.
I see. And so what kind of style does Mr. Ramos bring to the council? I mean, what's his general philosophy at these meetings?
His philosophy seems to be a little bit of a free market, kind of conservative kind of a style. Certainly showed with a vote on the Triangle, huge development that's proposed at a prime location in town. The rest of the council wanted to put some restrictions on it, and he thought that it should be just left alone for the developer to do what they want to do, for example. He brings a candid, raw, and personal approach to speaking about issues, and he is not afraid to speak his mind. His raw comments stand in stark contrast to the more measured comments of his more experienced and seasoned colleagues who have been on there for several years. At the same time, it certainly is clear that Mr. Ramos is still in the phase of learning how to serve on a city council.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dave. We appreciate your insight. And thank you for watching Political Empire. We'll see you next time.